Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next episode of The X-Files. It's been a hot minute since I watched The X-Files and I apologise for not putting one out last week. My aim was to put one out kind of at least at the moment on the schedule, it's every Thursday. Things just got too busy last week and I didn't have the chance to. So here we are with episode 5. Last episode was Conduit, which was the story about the boy who was nearby when his sister got abducted by aliens or potentially just by people. It was never fully confirmed one way or another. But because of what he went through, he got this ability to kind of receive messages from static, and it was all like binary code, and it linked to government like satellites and Shakespeare's sonnets. And it was interesting that although it was a slower episode, it raised some really interesting things about, was it real? Was it alien? Was it her just being kidnapped by somebody else? But I'm still of the view that if it wasn't aliens, it doesn't really explain how the boy had the ability to do what he did, because it was very strange. But anyway, good episode, just a little bit slow. This episode is The Jersey Devil, and I don't have actually a massive memory of this episode. That wasn't grammatically correct, but I did a bit of Googling on the Jersey Devil legend, because I know it's like a genuine folklore sort of thing. And it's essentially a folklore around New Jersey and Philadelphia about this creature that lives in the woods, which is kind of like a bipedal, half kangaroo, half wyvern looking creature. Anyone that's watching this that doesn't know what a wyvern is, it's basically a dragon of sorts. It has like wings and claws, and I have no memory of this from X-Files, this creature living in the woods. I know there's episodes later on in the show, like Detour, where there is creatures that live in the woods, but I don't remember this specific one, so I'm intrigued to see what this episode entails and where it's going to go. So yeah, let's jump into the Jersey Devil to see what's living in the woods, presumably of New Jersey. Okay, so we are in New Jersey. So I'm wondering how closely it follows the legend. Ooh, what was that?
It's okay, I just got a flat. No problem here, honey.
Convenient flat tire in the middle of the woods. I've seen enough horror films to know how this ends.
Honey, would you mind holding the light for a second?
That made me jump. It's the scary part about being in the woods though, you can't just go wandering because it could be anywhere. Shit. The forest and the woods and all these kind of places are just scary places if you really think about what's probably going on in them.
His leg's been eaten off.
Oh, eaten.
It's in here! It's as tall as a house!
We can smoke him out.
And then what? I see it!
He's coming at us.
You're just gonna shoot, you're not even gonna wait and see what it is. Look at that suit, Scully, yes.
This woman claims to have been taken aboard a spaceship and held in an anti-gravity chamber without food and water for 3 days.
Anti-gravity's right. Missing its right arm and shoulder. They
Shoulder.
think they may have been eaten off by a human.
Where in New Jersey?
Not a dragon
Just
then.
outside Atlantic City.
Ever hear of something called the Jersey Devil?
Yeah. It's a beast that's supposed to come out of the woods and attack cars, right? Kind of like an East Coast Bigfoot.
Read the file about the case in 1947.
Someone got their leg eaten off.
1947. Family watches Dad get dragged off into the woods. Cops find Dad with a few appendages gnawed off. Cops corner a large naked man in the woods and gun him down. Autopsy shows human flesh and bones in the man's large intestine.
Oh, so that was way in the past. I didn't even notice the day.
Was he alive when it happened?
So it wasn't even that he cut him off and ate the flesh. He literally ripped it off with his teeth.
Probably never knew what hit him.
Any ideas about that? Victim was a homeless man. You get many of them wandering around out here?
Well, occasionally I'll see some, but most are scared of the woods.
Yeah, but even so, even if it's a homeless man, it's
I don't
a homeless man that had his skin eaten off.
The devil?
They should be more
People say that's just a
concerned.
myth.
I saw what I thought was a large man come out of a
Cops up birch trees.
stitch of clothing. He's about 60 yards away. And he starts sniffing the air, you know, like a dog. You know,
I bet there is people living in the
You never saw
middle of
him
the
again?
woods like that though. When the kind of the forest is so
I
vast,
feel him.
you know, this could be all sorts of people living in there.
Of course, it helps if you can find a man.
You know of any?
Oh, she's got a
They
man.
faster than the Brazilian rainforest.
What about that guy you work with? Mulder?
Yeah, I thought you said he was cute.
He's a jerk. He's not a jerk. He's obsessed with his work.
And you're not.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Rob. I'm Scott's dad.
Oh, come in.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Tiger.
I feel like the only reason we're seeing you is because there's some flirty stuff going on. The thought of being homeless is so upsetting to me, and how hard that life must be.
What is this?
Stuck in the pocket of a jacket I found.
Does it mean anything to you?
I've seen it.
Where?
Right here. Digging in
Here?
the trash.
It looks fairly human, so definitely not a kangaroo dragon.
What do you think it is?
So I feel like they're using the name the Jersey Devil to kind of
Does anybody
explain
else-
like it's similar sort of
Everybody
qualities,
freaked.
but it's not actually the
Anybody
Jersey
called the
Devil.
cops? Room 756.
Oh,
Go ahead.
that's sweet. One night of just you can have a
You
shower.
got HBO?
I can't see it. Looks like a caveman. That it appears to be just someone that's lived in the forest all their lives. Which would explain like no clothes, the kind of ragged hair and the look. And that's it, that they eat animals and people because that's all they know. It's nothing supernatural, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, it's not hard to see where they mistook you for a vagrant.
Bitch.
You gonna rag on me, or you gonna take me to get something to eat? Moved, the way it sniffed the air. Just come out of the woods. Probably in search of food.
Yeah, I'll say.
It was speaking through the garbage, Scully. If it was a man-eater, why didn't it come after me?
I have a date.
Oh, Scully's gonna get some loving.
Unlike you, Mulder, I would like to have a life.
I have a life.
It's really interesting because obviously, having seen the series before a long time ago, we know that the work kind of basically takes over both their lives eventually. So it's interesting to see at the beginning she's really trying to cling on to
What's this chart?
some form of normality. Normality.
So we kill other species in order to survive.
Yeah, humans are top carnivores.
Humans
We sit
are
at the top of the food chain
shit.
and we reduce other species' chances of survival.
But what if through some fluke of nature, a human was born who reverted to its most animal instincts, a kind of carnivorous Neanderthal? Wouldn't he occupy a space above us on the food chain?
Oh, sure. All he'd have to do is wait outside.
So essentially it is like a caveman of sorts,
Right.
like I said before,
And haven't there been cases where
because he's
men have been
primal.
raised in the wilderness by animals who have no language and hunt like predators?
Oh, yes, several.
Suddenly, I felt very competitive for my son's attention. It was
Scully,
Sure.
the outfit.
I became a super dad on the weekend. Maybe some weekend, if you're up for it, we could take the kids out to the beach for the day.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, it seems sweet.
So, can I ask about the case you're on, or?
Oh, they seem really sweet together. Obviously, I don't think it goes anywhere. Her heart is with Mulder, and she doesn't even know it.
I just had an amazing thought. Maybe it isn't a beast man we're looking for after all.
I was gonna say because the person that we saw had really large hair, but the little bits of the body that we saw had no hair on them. Which I know women grow hair as well, but
They picked it up. Nobody logged the
it's more
body.
likely to be a woman in that case
Sure,
than a
yeah.
man, I think. Well, I think this is like part of the problem with humans and
Something here.
a lot of people in like the police have force and stuff, is I think they seem to forget that if this is this person that's been living in the woods and grew up in the woods and that's all it knows, it's probably very scared. But they just go in with guns, not like Mulder and Scully, but these arseholes are just ready to shoot it. But it's probably just someone who's very, very scared about what's going on. Maybe jump then. Come on, Scully. Give chase. Hey, come on, Dana. Jumping out of a window and barrel roll. Oh. Oh, shit the bed. That really scared me. Just having a good sniff. Just treat it like an animal, just let it sniff you and let it walk away. Although it did kill the homeless guy, didn't it? Because it felt threatened. See, it's just a scared person, essentially. Oh! Oh! Why does it keep making me jump so much? I feel really bad for it, because it's just a scared woman who doesn't know what's going on.
Can you reach it from here? I can try.
Please tell me that's a trunk. Okay. Oh. Just shrug that off. This guy, he's gonna shoot her. I can. But why? What an arse. Because you were threatening her. Of course she fucking defended herself. Poor woman.
Why'd you have to kill her?
Because he's an arsehole.
Same reason you kill a rabid animal.
Nope. I hate people like him. But unfortunately, they're in charge in a lot of places in the world.
We found nothing that suggested prehistoric bone structure or physiology. Now, the ACPD has her listed as a Jane Doe, and a search for her identity in state psychiatric records has begun in earnest.
But you're not going to find her.
The medical exam of the woman's uterus does seem to indicate that she may have given birth.
She was just protecting her children, Scully. It all makes sense.
So there's another one out there
Male
somewhere.
dies, and she comes out of the woods in
Shit.
search of food.
Sorry to call you at work. It's just I have Scott for the night, and we have 2 extra tickets for Cirque du Soleil. We thought maybe you'd like to ask Helen if you could take Trent and join us.
Scully, go.
Same guy as the guy you had dinner with the other night?
Same guy.
You gonna have dinner with him again?
I don't think so.
No interest.
Not at this time.
Thanks, Brad.
Scully, you're allowed to have a life. I don't know why I'm so disappointed, because I know things that happen later on in the show.
Keep that up, Mo.
But
I'll hurt you like that.
he seemed nice, like a nice guy.
Hey, did you ever hear the story of the Jersey Devil? You know, when I was a kid, my dad used to tell this story about a creature who lived out there in the woods.
Oh. And now there's another one. Okay, that was the Jersey Devil. I don't really know what my thoughts are on the episode. I have some interesting thoughts about the Jersey Devil. I don't even want to call it the Jersey Devil because the Jersey Devil legend and the folklore and the myth wasn't really part of this episode. It was kind of like is it the Jersey Devil? But then it turned out, no, it wasn't. It was just essentially a cave woman and a caveman in its basic terms, because they did describe it as someone who's basically born in the woods, lived in the woods, and they're very primal, like the cave people were. Obviously, they started to develop eventually, but I have interesting thoughts about her, because I don't think she deserved to die. It's weird, because she was a threat, and she was killing people and eating people, but only when she was threatened herself, so I feel like there could have been a better way to handle the situation than killing her. But I kind of guessed from the start, as soon as those cops were on the scene, that she was going to get killed, because they're the kind of people that shoot first and ask questions later. we've all watched the news, right? And it's a shame because we could have learned so much from her. And we've seen the one kid in the forest. Maybe there's more. We don't know, but they're not bad people. They are people, but they're not people at the same time. They're kind of like underdeveloped people, primal people. It's so hard to explain really where to fall in the opinion, because while she was a threat and she did kill people, I felt like she didn't deserve to be killed, and she obviously only left the forest because the husband was killed, or the partner was killed, not husband, because they weren't married, but the partner was killed, so she left to find food that he would have gone out and got to protect the child. So emotionally, it's kind of like I understand why she did what she did, and if people tried to hurt her, she hurt them back. Like with Mulder, when she had him on the floor, he never tried to hurt her, so she didn't hurt him. Well, she did hurt her ribs a little bit, but on the most part, she could have killed him and she didn't, because she kind of smelled him and kind of just got the vibe that he wasn't a threat. So her as a person was an interesting thing to think about. But overall, I thought the episode was probably my least favourite so far. It was just very slow, and kind of the stuff with the Jersey Devil was kind of like, oh, there's a sighting, oh, it got away. Oh, there's a sighting, oh, it got away. And whilst she was interesting to know about and to learn about, there wasn't enough of that. There was just a lot of talking to people and sightings, and then they get away, and police saying that that doesn't exist. And I know there's elements of that in every X-Files episode about seeing something crazy, but then people being told that it doesn't actually happen, with the aliens and all the spaceships and stuff that we've seen already. I don't know, this episode just was quite very slow for me, slower than Conduit was. The storyline I actually was really interested in more than I thought I would be, was Scully on the dating scene. I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen the later seasons, but it was nice to see Scully having a normal life and just going out on a date. And it was a shame about Rob, because he seemed like a really nice guy and a really sweet guy, and she was happy with him. She had a good date with him, and yet because of her job, she's now never going to see him again, and that's a shame, because she deserves to be happy. And I feel like if it wasn't for her job, she would have gone on more dates with him and potentially pursued a future with him. But it's already clear that her attachment to Mulder is growing quite quickly, 5 episodes in, and yeah, it's definitely their relationship is starting to develop from episode 1, where she was kind of like really distrustful of him, I suppose, to a degree. Like even in this episode when she was at the party and she called him a jerk, and straight away went, well, no, he's not a jerk. He just loves his job. So that was interesting to see, and it's just a shame that her and Rob never went out again. I don't fully remember all the episodes, so I could be wrong. But yeah, that was the Jersey Devil. Overall, some interesting ideas and some interesting things to discuss in the comments, hopefully. But just a bit of a slow episode for me personally. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Do you like this one? What are your thoughts on how the Jersey Devil was treated? And was it right to put her down? Could she have been studied? Even that sounds wrong. I just feel like we're going to learn from her. You know, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. As always, my name is Scott. I hope you guys are well and taking care of yourselves and staying safe. Not going to the woods and eating people's legs off. Subscribe if you enjoyed this reaction. Leave some comments down below. There's some videos to my right. If you like my content, please check them out. You might be interested in that too. I'll see you all in episode 6. Take care, guys, and thanks for watching.